I'm a firm believer that engineering, design and art are very much intertwined. It's hard for me to engineer something without trying to add some design direction at the same time. Creating a two-stroke probably only came about in the last 18 months. I saw this engine being developed over the last 5 years and I've just kind of watched it with interest. The thing I really wanted to do was create a new brand and create some really different bikes than what are out there at the moment, really kind of pure and raw. I had an epiphany. I thought the two-stroke is the thing that sort of epitomises all of that, really. So I got in touch with Vincenzo over in Maranello and we really hit it off and started to then pen some ideas around this engine. Sort of been talking to him about his engine because I was just intrigued by it and the sort of technology he's got in there with this separate ECU for the lubrication system to keep it clean and meet Euro emission standards and really bring the technology up to date. I just sent a speculative email, told him my plan, selling my house, quitting my job, selling the car, and I was going to make a new British motorcycle brand. And he, to be honest, he's quite a romantic Italian, and he was taken by it all and said, yes, we'll do absolutely everything I can to help your project. He started to sort of work on this engine and tweak it for this motorcycle.
So this engine's not going to turn up in loads of other bikes?
No, we are the only people. Aside from Vin's, we've got an exclusive deal to use this engine, and it's tuned and created especially for this bike.
We had the guys from Suzuki here yesterday with the Barashine bike. They took a real shine to it, didn't they?
Yeah, it's very nice to see.
In some ways, it's a continuation, which I kind of like that idea of what you could do with the two-stroke concept, but in this era.
Well, yeah, some of the themes do cross over. So it was all about lightweight. I'm a big advocate of a very light motorcycle. Power to weight ratio is my thing, and the two-stroke is the natural engine to stick in. At 75 horsepower and 114 kilogram, I think it's around 660 brake horsepower per tonne. 75 horsepower for me is a great sort of sweet spot for real riding on the roads. You keep the weight down, you've still got the acceleration, you've got the exciting power band, you've got a nice torque curve everywhere because of the fuel injection, and it sort of harks back to the ton-up clubs when 100, 120 mile an hour on the road is quite fast enough. The thing I love about motorbikes is that everything's on display, the engine's on display, the suspension's on display, and if you're interested in engineering, then it's all there right in front of you, so why cover it up with plastics?
What does it do to the gallon?
It depends how you ride it.
Yeah.
It depends if you're riding the little green section on the dash, which is the power band or not.
Yeah.
Because it's a 90-degree V-twin, so we've got a cylinder up here and a cylinder down there. The natural path for the intake is between the cylinders. We've got some carbon reed valves in the middle there, and the injectors feeding both cylinders. And then we've got some clean air around the wheels. We've got some forced induction, so it makes a lovely noise from the induction as well as the exhaust.
Why does a two-stroke need such a different exhaust pipe to a four-stroke?
It's all about the pulses coming from the engine and then returning back again and tuning it with the opening of the exhaust valve. We've got electronic exhaust valves on here.
The exhaust setup, why did you go with one out the seat and one out the...
Well, the one out the seat was nice and easy because, the top cylinder comes out here, so it's a nice straight route. We couldn't go straight out at the bottom. So, this is the least obstructed route that we can take at the moment, Although we're using modern materials with the aerospace-grade aluminium and the carbon fibre composites, different sort of composites for the fuel tank, it's still done by a man in a workshop or a woman in a workshop. It still takes a lot of craft, and it's same with the gilding. It's very much a craft. We've got this nice little vintage carbon headlight with the integrated clock. It's gold leaf, so it's something we can do in-house, and it's just done with love, and it shows it's against the carbon fibre, a texture which is very kind of modern. The difficulty is going into so much detail on every component, but then bringing it all together into one kind of coherent package. But yeah, everything's been thought about. The tyres, the TT100 GP. It's a new mould from Dunlop, but it's a very old tread. Very famous tread. The first tyre to do 100 mile an hour at the TT. The spokes on the outside of the rim here enable us to run with tubeless tyres. So we've got a big broader range of tyres, so we can still use these pretty sport wheels. They're nice, have a good stiffness and lightness. We've got our own machine hubs in there, CNC machine hubs, but we can run with pretty much any tyre we like. Well, the difficulty I had was I needed to put some electronics somewhere. We've got big coils, the starter solenoid, the battery, so they're housed inside the belly pan. By doing that, I was covering up one of the cylinders, so that little detail is just a little nod to the cylinder that's behind it. It's impossible not to get comfy on this bike. This seat was done very much modelled after an old ton-up club kind of Belstaff jacket, you know, with the quilted shoulder pads and the flexible elbow seams. Working with some very skilled people who luckily can translate from my ideas into the real thing. You know, we've made tools for the ribbon in the seats, trying to get the angles and the size of the quilting and the stitching all correct. And there's still lots of people around in this country who really get it and are really talented, you know. Clip ones are adjustable in about 3 or 4 different orientations, so literally you can have them down like a grass tracker if you like. This colour scheme is my sort of preference, but the plan is every single bike will be different. You know, we can change the colour of the paint, the anodising, we can change to different metals on the leaf. We'll set out a range of colours and different components that we can interchange. So I'm hoping we'll make 100 totally different bikes.